Today we're looking at the red Lebanese Bekaa Valley fig. It hails from eastern Lebanon, as the name would suggest, but it's actually a fig in the Chicago hardy or Mount Etna family of figs that has 50 plus name varieties that are either identical or very similar to one another. I recently did a video on the San Miguel Rocho fig, also known as Azores Dark. I'll link that now in case you want to see, but it's another fig in the same family. You can see that it's fairly productive, putting on figs in good clusters as the branch grows. The tree has been a relatively vigorous grower for me. I'd say it stands about 5 feet tall with the pot today. It's put on, of course had more figs towards the bottom here, but the birds have actually beat me to quite a few of those, so I've started netting the entire tree and hopefully be harvesting more off of it. I also want to show you a couple of the leaves here. And I want to comment also that the fruit size is a bit bigger than we saw on the San Miguel Rocho video, and I mostly attribute that to the climate being a bit more humid. We've had rains come through the last few days, and I think that's contributing to the fruit size. All right, let's pick a few of the ripe ones and see what they look like inside. Here are 3 of the red Lebanese Bekaa Valley figs that I've picked today. They are probably in differing stages of ripeness, and we might be able to see differences in color when I cut them open and also taste them. The figs are 23, 24, and 25 grams now. I don't remember which one's which, but the point is that they're averaging about 24 grams. That is a bit bigger than the San Miguel Rochos that I had a couple weeks ago. And again, I attribute that mostly to the humidity that we've had. There's been a number of rainy days over the last week or so as these were ripening. The color is fairly similar though. You can see a purplish skin color with some darker ribbing, and then at the bottom you can see the eyes as well. And just for good measure, I will take this one. I think it's fairly similar to the others, except that the eye here is a bit tighter. All right, let's cut them open and see what they look like on the inside. Here are 2 of the figs cut open. I left the third one uncut just for a little contrast. I'll bring these pieces a bit closer so you can get a better look at the interior. Both of them are fairly soft to the touch, but I'd say the one in my right hand is probably just a hair more ripe. The color between them though is fairly consistent. You can see it's a nice bright red. It's glistening, so my guess is that it's also got a good amount of moisture inside. And I also highlight that the skin on both of these pieces is very thin, and I bet I could scratch it off if I wanted to. All right, let's give it a try. All right, that was actually quite good. As expected, it reminded me quite a bit of the San Miguel Rocho fig that I had a couple weeks ago. There is moderate sweetness, but nothing overpowering, and it's balanced really well with a berry flavor. I can't quite put my finger on what the berry is, but one that tastes nice and actually leaves a nice aftertaste as well. The texture, as I was biting through it, wasn't very thick. I'd say it kind of falls apart in your mouth. And I will try the other piece as well, just to compare. I honestly can't tell the difference between the 2. They're both very similar in taste, and maybe the only slight difference to highlight is that the second one had a slight seed crunch to it. So overall, I'd say this is a very good fig, one definitely worth having. It's been growing well for me, and I really enjoy the flavor and taste. It seems to do well with both our hot months and some of the humidity we've been getting recently. So I think that's definitely a plus when it's versatile like that. I bet it would do well in a variety of climates. Now, one thing to note is if you have one of these Chicago hardy or Mount Etna type figs, you probably don't need many more than that. So I'd say start out with one and then see if you care for a very similar tasting fig in your collection. For me, between the two, I'd probably keep the red Lebanese. Seems to grow well, and at least this fruit was slightly larger. So with that in mind, I think I'll probably limit to one of those types. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.